folks. I'm gonna see if I can make a video using my my big camera here instead of the GoPro. Now the good thing about a big camera is that it got a heck of a zoom on it, but of course I don't have the stabilization that I have on the GoPro. But check that out. So I'm gonna see if I can do just today's just nightly vlog, whatever you want to call it, on my big camera to see if there's any difference in quality and audio. And the ladies already took off and left my ass. It was real nice. Would have been real nice of them to wait for me. And I'm shooting in 4K. I think 30 frames per second on this video. So we're gonna see. Oh, we got some turkeys right here. I know where to come next Thanksgiving if I need a turkey. Oh, beautiful look out across rice fields. Hello, Mr. Chicken. Yeah, so the ladies didn't bother to wait on me. So I've been trying to play catch up here. I'll say, hey, let's take the babies for their walk. Okay, so I'm getting ready. And they just take off. And that's a good thing about a camcorder. You can zoom in. So I don't think the footage is going to be too shaky, my friends. I've got this thing on mounted on a Readycam grip with a little Manfrotto Pixie Mini tripod on the bottom, so it's acting sort of like a stabilizer. Now I'll have to keep everything reserved until I chop this footage. But there you go. There's a look at the mountain. So you didn't think about waiting on me? Because the babies were crying? Oh, man, lost my shoe. Alright, it's coming here through Faye's village. Got a little shrine of Jesus over here. It's a peaceful village. There's no videoke here today in Videoke Village. Yeah, maybe they'll start singing for you later, Faye. Just give them a few hours. They'll start singing later tonight. And over here, folks, you got a carabao. And you got a little piggy. All right, here's a big difference when you're carrying this big camera around. Number one, it's heavy. Yeah, see, probably weighs, I don't know, but it's heavy holding it out here. You obviously don't have the wide angle lens that you have on the GoPro. Also, people look at you funny because you're holding this big, huge camera up. If you're holding that GoPro on that little selfie stick, people hardly even notice you. So there's some differences. But I don't think, I think the stabilization is pretty good. Now I'm doing my best to hold it still. It's got the active stabilization, whatever it is on. I don't know. But there's one difference. There's a couple sprinkles of rain and I'm like, damn, I didn't bring anything to put this camera in. Didn't bring anything to put the camera in. And with the GoPro, you don't worry about things like that. So I'm hoping it don't rain by the time I get back. But you definitely stir up the neighborhood walking around with this huge camera. Whew. I give my arm a break.
Sabay-sabay. Drop da ah. Tapos Vicks, isang Vicks. Magpakulo ko ng tubig.
Let me take a look at the river. See what's going on down here with the construction. Now be careful, ladies. Don't let them roll down the hill. Folks, take a look at that sunshine coming off the mountain over there. It looks like they must be doing a lot of work upstream because the water is very stirred up today. So I certainly appreciate little areas like this on our nightly walk, where I can just come down and just enjoy this little view for a few moments. We got a cool breeze coming through, so I'm seeing how this onboard microphone does. I got rid of the Rode Video Micro because it doesn't add that much value, and it just flops around on the top of this thing like a damn fish out of water. Whoever the hell designed the Rode Video Micro, I don't have no fucking clue as to what you were thinking when you designed that. And I'm shooting this bamboo because I've walked the same walk with the GoPro, and I want to see the difference in video quality. But you know, I'm gonna tell you, everybody who vlogs on these full frame cameras with one of those Rode Video Micro or Video Pros sticking on top of your camera, man, my hat's off to you. And folks, I'm not weak. I'm not, you know, I'm not being soft here, but walking around carrying this damn camera, you know, a little bit. Well, basically you're holding your arm out straight. That's straight right there. So I'm about half my arm's length holding this thing, walking around, and just walk around trying to hold a damn brick. Basically, this is maybe the weight of a brick, 2 bricks. So you walk around holding a brick and see how long it takes your damn arm to get tired. And so that's a factor I really didn't think about with this big ass camera. And I'm like here changing hands here just to keep this, you know, to keep from getting too tired. You don't run that problem with a little GoPro, which weighs, I don't know how many ounces the damn thing weighs, but it ain't much. And I got the sun shining through these trees, and I think that's like the perfect shot. Perfect shot with the lighting on us. I'm not a photographer, so simple things like that. Anyhow, yeah, folks, today was kind of uneventful. Just worked on getting that one Angeles City video posted. I hope everybody enjoyed that. A little bit of bad behavior on our overnight over there in Angeles. And we had a great time. You know, a chick ganked one of Dennis's custom bikinis. Hoping she brings that thing back, but if not, hey, whatever. She got a little parting gift for the night hanging out with us. Unauthorized, of course. Look at this. Other than the thumping vidjoki, like right around the corner here, it's just nice to get out here on the river amongst the rocks and the bamboo of Mother Nature. And for our nightly walk, it's a little escape from all the pavement and the people. And of course, once we walk that way a little bit, we're right back in the mix. Everybody stay right there. I'm going to take a photo. I'm trying to do this photo shoot here with the mountain in the background. And I'm gonna tell you, these babies, once you try to get a picture of them, they just don't want to cooperate. And I know what it is. I mean, as long as we're on the go, they're content. But the minute we stop to talk to somebody or to take a photo, they don't like that. They like to go. And the wheels on this stroller, they're just not good for this soft sand. I mean, this thing has been a champion, but I'm gonna recommend this, folks. You know, a stroller is something that lasts. This thing's lasted, what, a year and a half? I don't know how long we had it. But you know what? And it's been a good one. I'm not complaining. But if you're gonna do a lot of walking, and you know, you think you're gonna take your babies or baby and just go a lot of places, enjoy the outdoors, spend the money and get the best quality that you can buy with big tires. The bigger the tires, I know they make those ones like for running and stuff. I don't know if you have to have them that big, but I'm going to tell you, these small diameter tires, when you get off the pavement, it's a challenge running these things over rough terrain. So if I had it to do over, I would at least get a stroller with bigger tires on there. Okay, so my little experiment today of trying to basically run and gun, vlog, whatever you want to call it, on my big Sony camera, which has got a lot of great features to it. But I forced myself to get it out and just run and gun with it. And folks, the results are in. And the results are, it's just much better to film on this GoPro. Folks, this dude right here, I just love to see this guy pull out into traffic here. You can't see the driver, you can't see where he's going. He can't see where he's going. But this dude is driving that car around in traffic every day. Folks, that one's loaded down. Love these things. Look at this. Got all kind of beautiful wares and stuff. Just worry about these folks driving out in traffic with these things. Not really a lot of weight. It's just the bulk. Look at that thing go. Time to go get some soup for the babies over here at Sitting Bull. Okay. All right, so it's the next day. Sitting out here on the balcony in my penthouse suite, chilling, shooting on the GoPro Hero 8. Using the internal microphone, internal audio, and all I got this thing mounted on is one of those GoPro Max. I think it's 22-inch tripod / extend the pole, whatever. Great piece of gear. So I just I wrote down some thoughts about, you know, vlogging on my GoPro versus using a full-size camera of really any size. You know, anything from a point and shoot on up versus a GoPro. So I'm just gonna run through my list, and I'm not taking the time to write this shit out. So if you want to take notes for your own benefit, well, take notes. It's not written anywhere. Okay, the GoPro versus a big camera. And yesterday I was shooting on a Sony FDR AX100. The thing's a tank. Fucking great camera. But let's go to point number one. That big camera is heavy. Now, it might not weigh but a few pounds, but try toting that shit around, holding your arms straight out, talking to that camera. It's like carrying a couple bricks, you know, at arm's length. You're gonna get tired. And my arm did get tired. Not that I couldn't do it, it just wasn't comfortable. It's a nuisance. Versus this GoPro right now, I'm holding it in one hand and I'm sitting here conducting business in the other. I got my notes here in my other hand. So that's a big issue right there. Light versus heavy. GoPro's light. Anything mirrorless, full frame, big camcorder, they're heavy. Not a big deal if you're just throwing the camera in the car, driving out to the beach and setting it on a tripod, or you know, I mean, something of that nature. But if you're running and gunning, traveling from point A to point B, that bulkiness and heaviness is a pain in the ass. All right, go to number two. GoPro's got great stabilization, whereas the bigger cameras, not so much. Even if you got that optical image stabilization built in the lens, built in the body, it's only stabilizing it so much. So if you're running and gunning, traveling from point A to point B, it's not going to be good enough. You're hustling to catch a bus, hustling to get on a ferry, it's going to be shaky compared to the stability that this GoPro produces with their algorithm. It's fucking magic. It's basically like you've got a gimbal. But folks, you don't want to have to deal with a gimbal. A gimbal is a pain in the ass. It's a pain in the ass at times dealing with the little DJI Osmo Pocket. A gimbal is just an extra step that you've got to mess with. With the GoPro, all you do is point the camera in a general direction and it's going to pick it up. It's too simple. The GoPro is discreet. It doesn't attract too much attention, whereas yesterday with this big ass camera toting it around, it was like I was a news crew. I mean, I was creating a stir everywhere I went because I'm carrying this huge damn camera. And people react differently when they know they're being, you know, they know they're being filmed, or they know some guy is filming something for some reason. People act different. I'm walking around with this GoPro, people don't react that much. And that goes along with the GoPro being compact, where bigger cameras are just fucking bulky. Alright, speaking of bulky, if you got a big camera, it's a two-handed operation. You have to use two hands to hold the thing, carry the thing, manipulate the thing. You're stuck manipulating the camera. Okay? I'm holding this GoPro with one hand and I'm holding this book with the other. Okay, it's too easy. That's a big one if you're traveling, running and gunning, point A to point B. Alright, the next one. Yesterday when I left out that big camera, I cut the corner down there and I got a couple drops of rain on me, and I was like, you fool. You didn't bring a bag, a waterproof bag, anything to put this thing in. I was basically just caught off guard. If it started raining, I'd have ruined that fucking camera. GoPro, you don't worry about that. And I realize there are other cameras out there that are, you know, water resistant. Some of the Lumix, the Panasonic Lumix cameras that can't seem to autofocus in the year 2020. But the waterproofness is a big deal. I just don't worry about shit like that. I just go. Yesterday I'm like, holy shit, if it comes a flood right now, I'm doomed. Okay, the GoPro can get any angle. And what do I mean by that? I can take this selfie stick, I can stick it in a shirt pocket, I can stick it in my pants, I can pick it, stick it in a little side cargo pocket, little cell phone case. I can stick it in my back pocket. I can shoot behind me while I'm walking. And obviously there's a million ways to mount this thing, whereas a big camera, not so much. And if you do, it takes time. I mean, the GoPro, I literally, if I need to go hands-free, I just stuff it in the front of my pants. It's still shooting straight ahead. Now I got both hands free. You can't get the same angles with a big camera like you can with this little GoPro. Alright, now the bad thing about the GoPro, there's no zoom. On my camcorder, it's like a 12-time optical zoom. It's awesome. You can reach out and just get close to your subject. Can't do that on a GoPro. You're shooting 4K, so you can go back and post and kind of crop it in, but that's a big difference. But the positive to this is, you know, the GoPro is always in focus. I'm not a fucking tech guy. I don't know the science behind it, but there's no focus on the GoPro. You point it in the general direction, everything's in focus. On my camcorder, okay, it's got, am I saying it right, depth of field, whatever, anyhow. It's supposed to be focusing on my face, and sometimes it focuses on the background if I'm wearing sunglasses. It does not like sunglasses for whatever reason. And when I take the sunglasses off, boom, automatically puts that box around my face and it's good to go. Put the sunglasses on, the box disappears and it focuses on the damn house over there. So focus is an issue. You know, you shoot a lot of footage and come back and you're out of focus, you're like, fuck. You don't got to worry about that with this little GoPro. Now the big cameras, like my big camera, I could probably squeak 2.5 hours of use out of a battery. It's got a big battery. But the GoPro, I got 5 batteries. They last over an hour a piece. They take 15 seconds to change. So the battery life, you're mixing apples and oranges. But the good thing with a GoPro, I mean, the batteries are what, 20 bucks? I mean, buy you a handful, you can shoot all day. Good thing about the big camera, my big camera, that thing's never overheated. I can run it for hours. It's just so big, you know, plenty of ways to dissipate heat. That thing will record all day till the cows come home. The GoPro will do the same, but it creates a lot of heat. And if you run it way too long, it's gonna motor through, but it's gonna start glitching some of your clips, in my experience. But I showed you kind of a trick to get around that, is to you just run your battery down to 50% or so, 30%, and then instead of waiting until it goes all the way, you plop a cool battery in there. Let it run 50% and then plop a cool battery in. It brings the temperature down. At least that's what works for me. I haven't had any glitches since I started doing that. So those are just some of the notes, or the pros, the cons. But the big thing, if you're gonna run and gun, is just the portability and the compactness. And the audio on this GoPro is not perfect, but it's usable. A lot of other action cams, the audio sucks. So what I'm saying, I don't have to have an external microphone for the GoPro. And when you take a big camera and hang a damn Rode Video Micro on it, which is not a great piece of gear, or you put a Rode, was it Video Pro, one of those bigger mics on it, you're just hanging more weight and more shit to get snagged when you're trying to get on a bus or board a plane. So I guess what my point is, it's kind of like what is your objective, or more like what is the environment? I think that's the question. What's the environment you're going to be filming in? Are you in the US where you have a car and you throw this big ass camera and tripod in your car, you drive to the beach, set up your tripod, and you do some filming, and you got plenty of time, you got all day to do it? All right, get you a big ass camera, get the best quality you can. You're not concerned with weight and portability. If you just need a camera in your studio and it's never going to leave your home studio, well, by all means, get a big camera. Who gives a shit, right? But if you're going to run and gun point A to point B consistently, a big camera is not the way to go. I just told you, it's heavy, it's bulky, it creates a stir. It's a two-handed fucking operation. Let's get you a little GoPro like I'm doing right now. And people say you can't vlog on a GoPro. That's just silly. You can make YouTube videos on your damn cell phone, on any camera. As long as you can hit record and somehow get that footage uploaded, you can make videos. You're not trying to make a Steven Spielberg production every little 10-minute vlog you do about where you went to eat, excuse me. That's just not the nature of the vlogging YouTube game. It's just not for me. So in my situation, the best thing for me is to stick with this GoPro and just keep running and gunning, doing like I'm doing. I'm okay with the color profile. I think the color looks pretty well. Low light, the stabilization goes to crap. But if I'm shooting on that big camera, which is great in low light, it's still shaky anyhow if you're walking. If you put it on a tripod, obviously it beats the GoPro. But if you're trying to walk, move from point A to point B, it's still going to be shaky. Yeah, so for me, folks, I'm sticking with the GoPro Hero 8 as far as my run and gun, point A to point B, walking tours, along with that DJI Osmo Pocket. And I got a backpack for my big camera. And whenever I want to take that big camera, I'll just keep it in the backpack like we did on the trek over to T-Bog Falls. I just carry that in the backpack with the intention that when I get to where I'm going, I can plop out the tripod, get the camera out, you know, and I can do some leisurely filming and talk to that thing. But during the trek, it's not the piece of equipment to have out. During the trek, point A to point B, the GoPro is what you need in your hand. And you don't even really need to buy a bunch of accessories. You just need to buy the GoPro Max selfie pole. It is perfect. It's got a tripod. It's tall enough where it actually works. The shorty's just too tiny. It's not tall enough to do anything. I have that one too, but I don't use that shit at all anymore. All right, folks. So that's just my thoughts. And again, I know when I get into these tech talks, it doesn't really apply to most of my subscribers, but a lot of people ask me about the camera end of it, the technical end of it. And so it is worth putting the information out there about what I've learned and what I'm doing. So there you go. And I'm sitting out here on a hot ass day. I've been talking to this camera. I can see the time right here. And, you know, on the GoPro, all you can see is the time, the battery. It shows you 4K at 30, you know, the resolution and frame rate, and it shows you the memory card. Oh, that's the other thing. You don't need, with the GoPro, you don't need a flip-up screen. You don't need a, what do they call them? You know, the front-facing screen, the selfie screen. You don't need it. Like right now, I've got it pointed in my general direction. I'm looking straight at the lens. I'm gonna be in frame. Okay. If I have a flip-up screen, it's human nature to look at the screen, and you're gonna be like looking at this, and it's kind of awkward. So the media mod gets dropped. I'll get the media mod just to test out the shotgun microphone, but I'm not buying that flip-up screen. You don't need it, and it's also distracting. Okay, folks, so I'm gonna conclude this. Man, it's a beautiful, hot, sunny day here in the Philippines, and we are blessed. If you take a look at that sky, we haven't had any ash, knock on wood, knock on bamboo, from Taal volcano down there in Tagaytay. We haven't had any ash here show up. If it has, it's been so fine, but as far as I can see, we haven't had the ash fall out here. Hopefully it stays that way. But it's a beautiful day. We just got back going to take the babies to their appointment, and also we ate at the coffee shop. So check out that next video. Coffee shop down in Barrio Barreto, you know, on the way to Longapo, down on the left across from Arizona Beach Resort. food there is on time, it's cheap, it's barato. Great coffee too, brewed coffee. You gotta stop in there and check it out. Tell them Marco sent you. Show them this video. We'll show them the one where I'm actually there. All right, folks. Minimalism. If you're running and gunning, minimalism. Screw the external mics. Screw all the bells and whistles. Strap a GoPro Hero 8 to a GoPro Max pole. Hit the fucking trail and push the red button, the red circle that says record, and go to work. That's basically what I'm doing these days. I use my big camera for cooking shows and stuff like that here at the crib, or for special occasions, but not going from point A to point B. Holy shit. Especially not dragging 2 ladies and 2 babies. I'll stick with simplicity and compactness. All right, folks, I gotta go get me another beer. I'll see you guys on the next one. Hope this helped if you're thinking about buying a camera, starting a YouTube channel. You know, GoPro's 400 bucks. 400 bucks. I would just buy extra batteries, and that pole I keep talking about. You're in for under $500 all in. And then get out there and hit the fucking streets, hit the trail, hit the fucking skies, whatever you want to do. Just go to work and start filming. People want to be entertained, and you're not entertaining anybody if you're sitting there for months trying to figure out what's the fucking best YouTube camera. State of analysis paralysis because you don't know which camera to buy. I was there. I'm not there anymore. Now I'm fucking executing. I'm making videos on a GoPro Hero 8 Black. All right, folks. I'll see you guys on the next one. And no, this ain't sponsored. I'm just telling you what I'm doing. Matter of fact, GoPro, I applied for their affiliate program, and GoPro denied me. And I'm convinced it's because I don't wear skinny jeans. In my comments against the average male in the US who wears skinny jeans. So I'm still using their product, but I'm not even an affiliate. They denied my application, and they're damn sure not sponsoring me because I don't wear fucking skinny jeans. But it's what I'm filming on right now. All right, folks, I gotta run. See you on the next one, my friends. Peace out.